Hello. It's been a few days. I haven't had any motivation to do anything. I just messaged out to everyone that was at the DFLA in Manchester. It was brilliant. I've enjoyed watching all the footage, interviews, Red Pill Phil up there interviewing the lioness. That was cool. Reverend Simon Sideways stuff. You know, it's really good. I felt a bit bad for not going, but I had to work. And I had my daughter. And I actually don't think I'm going to be able to make this weekend either in London, which I'm really, really gutted about, but I have to work. I'm absolutely skint. Anyway, so that's that. And oh, by the way, anyone that watched my David Icke one the other day, yes, I did pick up the tin foil. I just threw it out the window for some dramatic effect. I thought it'd be quite funny, but no, I'm a very good boy and I recycle, so that went in there because we've got to save the planet. So this one is about lobbyists, and something I didn't know anything about. I now know a little bit about. One of my subscribers, Chris or Christopher C, he sent me a link a while ago to have a look at, and I did look at it. I've sort of watched it a couple of times to try to get my head around it a bit, and today I've watched another one. So I'm going to talk about these two documentaries and my sort of take on lobbyists, lobbying. Some benefits, I suppose, but it seems like it's quite negative for the average Joe like us, probably. And then there is a solution, I believe, that may well curtail it, at least the negative and dodgy, murky, corrupt side of it. So the first documentary, and when I get them tonight, I'll share links to these, but you can search for them. It's quite easy. The first one was a Channel 4 documentary by Dispatches from 2009. It's called Conservative Friends of Israel, they're known as CFI. If you YouTube it, Conservative Friends of Israel, it'll come up. Some of the key things to take from it is so that at the time of this documentary, 80% of Conservative MPs were in the Conservative Friends of Israel, and it's a lobbying group, and it's said that from the period of 2001 to 2009, they donated £10 million directly to the Conservative Party. That's been denied by them, but you know, as I say, this is going by this documentary. It's said that their motto, if you like, is to strengthen business, cultural and political ties. What it really is about making sure that as many politicians in the House of Commons are sympathetic to Israel, because they also have Labour friends of Israel as well. So it's not that they fully support Conservative movement. It's, you know, they're all in it together, basically. Some prominent members at the time of when I've checked this from the Wikipedia page: David Cameron, Ian Duncan Smith, Liam Fox, Sajid Javid, Priti Patel, Eric Pickles. Those are names that jumped out off the page to me. I still, you know, don't claim to be that political. I am getting more now, but I wouldn't have known some of the others. But I'm sure if you look, you'll probably recognise more of them than I do. So yeah, my next point was why do they give the money? Why would anyone want to give money to a politician? It's massive business, and it's so they get favourable treatment. I mean, how many times when you hear something, you know, the word anti-Semitic come up, and, you know, then you've got these MPs virtue signalling in the House of Commons, you know, and they'll always refer to the Holocaust and the terrible treatment of Jews. So let's just get right off the bat, I am not anti-Semitic. I've got no problems with Jewish people whatsoever. I don't have problems with anyone, really. Not people. I have problems with ideas, bad ideas, and people that are idealised into those ideas, and it then causes harm to people. But no. And in fact, Jewish history, if you look back at the achievements, quite incredible. For virtually quite a small group, they've achieved a lot. Look at the Nobel Prize winners of the past. You know, the Jews are very highly represented. I haven't got any facts and figures for you, I'm just saying. You know, you can look into that if you like. So this is nothing about anti-Semitism from my point of view. But I think there's a problem with the regime of Israel, I'm coming around to this. I also think there's a problem with the regime of Palestine. So I'm on a fence, okay? I'm neither one side or the other on it. I'm just saying if the regimes were out of the way, I'm sure the rest of them would probably get on a lot better without them. You know, there's not good motives, I don't believe, anyway. So I've gone on a bit about that for a while. So going on from this whole Zionism, Zionists that follow Zionism, what the hell is it? So generally speaking, if you just do a search, it's supporting the Jewish homeland. But it seems that it's more than that. And it is, I believe, based in this new world order of world dominance, heavily focusing around Richard von Coudenhove-Kalergi. I've talked about him quite a few times. Look him up. Watch my video if you like, but you'll probably get more from other videos, better than mine. Effectively, this is a plan to replace the indigenous white Europeans with brown people. I've got nothing against brown people, but also it would be nice if white people have a place that they could call their home as well. Richard Kalergi, right? He wasn't full Jewish. His mum was Japanese. His dad was Ashkenazi Jew, an absolute genius that spoke God knows how many languages and stuff like that. And Kalergi was a brilliant man as well. Some say he didn't like white people because of his mixed race. He sort of felt, I don't know, he was prejudiced towards them. I don't know. His father was a very close friend of Theodor Herzl, who was the founder of Zionism. So there's definitely a link to Zionism there. I'll tell you what, a YouTuber to check out who really knows his stuff when it comes to this, far more than me, Earthling Carl. Have a look out for him. His channel's really, really good. He features mostly, he talks about shows on LBC, Leading Britain's Conversation. He's really got it in for Majid Nawaz. Well, I can't remember his name properly now. And he's convinced me as well. But do give him out his channel a look, because when he does talk about Zionists and stuff, he really goes deep, balls deep, and he's unapologetic. And I really like his videos. I sometimes disagree with him, but I really, really enjoy his videos. So he's excellent. Anyway. Look at some of the massive companies, information around the world, you know, the big ones. Google, YouTube, Apple, Wikipedia, Amazon. I mean, half of them are owned by a company called Alphabet. And Alphabet are at the top. They're all Zionists. And in fact, I think all of those companies, you know, the Zionists at the top of it, they are controlling the media. They are pulling the strings, and they are behind the mass migration into Europe from Africa, and destabilising it isn't just an unfortunate coincidence. It's the aim, I believe, anyway. And that's quite deep, and that's quite conspiracy, but I'm pretty sure that there are not many people. I'm sure people will back me up on that in the comments. Hopefully, some might have a go at me. Anyway, so that's that one. If you're still with me, that's the Dispatches one about the Conservative Friends of Israel. And this morning I've watched another very interesting one, and again you can search it on YouTube. It's called Lobby Britain, and this is really more to do with lobbyists from the oil and arms industry, and maybe they're based in Zionism as well, I don't know. They're all based in having lots of money, that's for sure, and selling lots of weapons, and you can't sell more weapons unless you've got more wars, can you? They lobby obviously MPs, and not just MPs, the unelected, very senior civil servants, Whitehall guys. Many of them are in the pockets of these lobbyists. Is it just money they get? Sometimes it's not just directly money. That's quite hard to hide. Can be properties, but more often than not, it's very, very lucrative jobs after they retire. Here's a couple of examples. Portillo, who actually I quite like, he got a job with BAE Systems. John Reed, he got a job with a massive global security company. And the one that really takes the biscuit, Jeff Hoon, who after awarding Augusta Westland helicopters a deal for, I think, 1.7 billion, far over the estimate of the next best contract, offer. For some reason, they got the job for far more money than should have been paid. He works for them now. Isn't that interesting? There was Cameron, David Cameron, right? Some people like him, I don't. He went on a trip to Egypt a while back. Then the idea was to support the dispute there. Obviously, they were really trying to destabilise the regime, weren't they? And again, that's all Kalergi, that's all Project for the New American Century. But he had a plane full of lobbyists from the oil and arms industry. That's what they were doing out there. Blair said before the war in Iraq was never about oil. He now works for an Iraqi oil business consortium or something like that. It absolutely stinks. Rotten to the core. Yes, there are some good lobbying reasons. I mean, I could lobby for, say, a charity, or for children with a particular illness, to have it more recognised so the treatment's more available in the NHS. That's good lobbying. So it's not lobbying that's the problem. It's the people that are doing it with bad intentions, and it's the greedy, corrupt politicians and senior civil servants that are prepared to sell out and sell us out for it. So, but at the end of this Lobby Britain documentary, it comes up with solutions. Because the whole time I was watching, I was thinking, well, what the hell do you do about it? What's the point of even getting upset about it? There's nothing can be done. But there could be something done about it. There's 3 points they've come up with. One is a statutory register of all lobbyists. So they've all, who they are, where they're from, and what they want. Okay. Another one, transparency. So all ministers and civil servants that have got meetings with lobbyists, they have to be fully notified in the diaries and minutes taken. What have they got to hide? And I'm sure there can still be some dodgy meetings, more clandestine, that people don't know about it. But putting some barriers in place hopefully should cut back on it. I would hope. Might get torn apart for this video, I'm sure. And the third one, which is really quite good as well, is monitor the life after retirement. So these guys leave these jobs, and then they are not allowed to, Jeff Hoon is not allowed to go and work for Augusta Westlands because he gave that thing. There's a real conflict of interest there, isn't there? So those are some really good, I think, suggestions for it. And then, but you're going to need an honest government to want to push it through, because no government, no politicians that we've got at the moment are going to, it's like they're not turkeys voting for Christmas, are they? So we need a change of government. We really, really do. I want it to be for Britain. I'd be more than happy if it was UKIP. But this needs to happen. This populist movement. We need honest politicians. But honest for how long? I was thinking about it, So, okay, you got some guys, two types of politicians, I suppose. There's the ones that go into it for bad intentions, and there's the ones like, if I stumbled into politics for whatever, it would be for good reasons. It would be because I'm sick of this stuff and I want to see if I can make some changes towards it. It's never going to happen. I ain't bright enough, but that I would be probably in that way a good politician for those reasons. But how long would it be before the lobbyists are cozying up to me and offering me stuff? Do you realise you could have this, and look at this villa in the south of France, or whatever, and all this sort of stuff? Eventually my head might turn. How long are you in a job banging your head against the wall because you can't get anywhere with these bloody civil servants because they've got it all tied up with red tape, before you just think there's nothing I can do, change it? So yeah, we need a change of government. I'm waffling, I'm getting it in now, bear with me, thank you. Change of government, but also these new legislations need to be pushed through as soon as possible. And I don't know, we can write to our MPs, can't we? There's other people out there with better ways of communication than me. But yeah. So I'm worried about this, but please let me know your views, and I'm try to look at them all and try to look into it. But I'm sure I'm going to be scratching my head trying to figure out what everyone's on about, because you all go well deep with it, and it's appreciated very much, actually. I like it, but dumb it down for me, maybe, if you can. Hard of thinking over here. Anyway, if you like this video, give us a thumbs up and subscribe, share it, all those things. That'd be great. See you soon. Bye.